17-year-old Lena sat on the edge of her small bed, her fingers running over the peeling wallpaper. Her room was no sanctuary, it was just four thin walls separating her from the chaos outside. Downstairs, her father's voice thundered, drunk and furious, hurling insults that cut deeper than knives. Glass shattered, followed by her mother's soft, muffled sobs. This was Lena's world, a hell she had learned to endure. She pulled her knees to her chest, trying to make herself invisible. In the corner lay her only treasure, a tattered notebook filled with lyrics. Words she couldn't speak at home, words too dangerous to whisper in front of her father, lived safely in those pages. When she sang them softly to herself, her voice became her only shield, her only escape. "Why don't you ever fight back?" she had once asked her mother. But her mother only lowered her gaze, eyes lifeless, whispering, "Some storms you cannot fight, my child." But Lena wasn't convinced. She believed storms could be sung away. That night, she stood in front of the cracked mirror. Her reflection looked tired, bruised inside, though not visibly marked. She pressed her hand against the glass as though reaching out to another version of herself, a stronger one. "You're not just this pain," she whispered. "You're more. One day, I'll leave. And when I do, I'll sing so loud that he'll never be able to silence me again." It wasn't just a dream. It was a vow. Music became her secret rebellion. When the world outside screamed, she drowned it with melody. In school, while others gossiped or played, Lena sat quietly under the old oak tree, scribbling verses. Teachers often mistook her silence for weakness, but they didn't know she was building a fire within. One day, a flyer appeared on the school bulletin board, National Youth Singing Competition, auditions open. Lena froze as she read the words. Her heart hammered. This was it. The chance she had always dreamed of but never dared to take. For days, she wrestled with fear. What if she failed? What if her father found out? His words still echoed in her head, "You'll never be anything. Your voice is useless." Yet, in her chest, another voice, softer but stronger, pushed back, "Sing, Lena. This is your way out." On the morning of the audition, she slipped out of the house before dawn. She clutched her notebook tightly as though it were a passport to another world. At the bus stop, she whispered to herself, "This is my escape. No turning back." The city felt bigger, louder, but Lena walked with determination. When she reached the auditorium, her stomach twisted at the sight of glamorous contestants with perfect hair and confidence spilling from their smiles. She, in her plain dress and trembling hands, felt invisible. Still, she signed her name. Her turn would come. Hours later, Lena's name echoed through the speakers. Her legs felt like stone as she stepped onto the stage. The bright lights blinded her, and the murmurs of the audience made her heart pound harder. She saw the four judges sitting in a row, their eyes sharp, their expressions unreadable. For a moment, panic struck. Her throat tightened. She remembered every cruel word her father had spat, "You're worthless. Don't embarrass yourself." She nearly turned back. But then, in the shadows of her mind, she saw her mother's tired face, her own younger self crying into the pillow, the pages of her notebook filled with hope. She gripped the microphone, her knuckles white. The silence was deafening. She closed her eyes and whispered, "This is for me. For every night I survived." When the first note left her lips, it was shaky, fragile, like a bird testing its wings. Some audience members leaned forward, curious. The judges exchanged glances, skeptical. But then Lena's voice grew steadier, richer, filled with an honesty that no training could teach. By the time she reached the chorus, something changed. The hall grew utterly silent. The laughter and whispers died away. Her voice wasn't just singing, it was confessing, crying, healing. Each note carried the weight of nights in hell and the strength of someone who refused to stay there. Her song told a story, of broken glass, of children hiding from rage, of a girl who dreamed of light while trapped in shadows. It wasn't just music, it was survival put into melody. She sang about wishing for freedom, about praying someone would listen. Midway, her voice cracked, trembling on the edge of tears. For a moment, she feared she had ruined everything. But instead, that crack made the song real. It wasn't polished perfection, it was raw truth. The audience felt it. The judges felt it. One of the judges, a woman known for her tough critiques, wiped at her eyes. Another leaned back, visibly moved, whispering something to his fellow judge. The cameraman zoomed in on Lena's face, capturing the tears rolling down her cheeks as she pushed through to the final note. When that last note rang out, long, powerful, trembling yet unbroken, the entire hall seemed to hold its breath. Time stopped. And then silence. Lena lowered the microphone, unsure, shaking. Had she done enough? Or had she exposed too much? Suddenly, the silence shattered, into thunder. The crowd rose to their feet in a standing ovation. Cheers erupted. People clapped so hard their hands stung, some even shouting her name though they had only just learned it. Lena gasped, overwhelmed. She pressed her